Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Weekly Outlook series. As always, we start off our week by checking the economic calendar, and for this specific week, we have NFP and we have a bank holiday on Friday. It is now Monday, June 29th. There is no news for today, but I am still going to be monitoring what price is going to be doing today, whether we want to form the high of the week today or tomorrow. I will let the charts decide that for me. Now, for most of the volatility, I expect it to be after Wednesday when the Fed Chair Walsh speaks. As you guys can see, there is a 9 a.m. red folder news there. That is in New York local time. On Thursday, we have the NFP, which normally the day before NFP, you can expect some sort of chop or just crazy movement. And as you guys can see, we have the Fed Chair Walsh speaking. Now, as far as the earnings go for this week, there are no major companies reporting any earnings for this specific week. So let's go ahead and get into the charts. All right, so here we are on the 6561 daily range. This is the 9-day time frame. This is the highest time frame I use to point out my overall direction for the week on this YouTube series. And for this specific daily range, we are currently in a sell program and we are currently not in sync with the other assets on the US indices as far as S&P 500 and the Dow Jones goes. I'm still waiting to see which side is lying, which price distortion was just like price distortion or price manipulation, whichever you want to call it. And I'm currently favoring higher prices, but we are currently at a premium. As you can see, we are above the 50% here. So anything above this is a premium. This is where high should form. We are in a sell program because of this swing high here that invalidated this buy program coming from all of this. And we're currently inside of the rebalance zone, which is the chop zone. And this is where you guys need to be patient. Either be content with taking C setups and having a loss here and there, or just touch some grass. And one thing I want to point out here on this specific dealing range, the 77% is the current invalidation of this sell program. If this sell program holds true, then I expect us to reach this 29% of the 6561 daily range, which we could then form a low to continue higher for the rest of the year. But as of right now, we are in a sell program on the NASDAQ on this specific dealing range. Alrighty, here we are on the 2187 daily range on the daily time frame on the E-mini NASDAQ September 2026 contract. It's very specific that you guys do your analysis on this current monthly contracts because it is the most accurate contracts to be looking at price. So now here we are currently in a sell program on the daily time frame, and until we close above this 77%, we are in a sell program. As you guys can see with my indicator here, the exact invalidation price is 30,144.99. With that being said, the current drawn liquidity is this previous weekly low. And it's hovering right before the 29%, which is the sweet spot of this discounted flow gate, excuse me. Now, again, the 6561 is in a sell program. Ignore the buy program here. The 6561 is in a sell program. The 2187 is in a sell program. And we're currently in a premium of this dealing range. So we can literally come all the way up here. Price can trade all the way back to here as long as we do not close above this 77%. We can literally touch it and then still continue lower, right? So this is one of those areas, again, even on the 2187 dealing range that you just either want to be patient, be okay again with C setups, or touch some grass. Now, this was day 17, which was Friday, June 26th of the monthly partition. And as you guys can see, this was the expansion from the 11 to 17. I personally was expecting to see higher prices, but as I stated in my previous weekly outlooks, is that we were at a premium, and if we wanted to form a high, this is where the high would form, and we did. Now we reached a discount. All of these lows here currently are at a discount. So if they want to, they can form this low here to then invalidate the sell program to continue higher. But currently, until they invalidate the current sell programs that are active on the NASDAQ, I do expect either consolidation for them to form a high somewhere in this premium to then continue lower, or I'm just staying on the sidelines. This is one of those times where it's okay just to not know exactly where price is going and know when to execute. If I do want to take a sell in this current environment, I'm going to wait until we're at a premium, until I see all the assets are in sync with each other, and that's when I'll be looking to execute. Or waiting until Wednesday and taking it easy this week. So if we do, in fact, continue lower and form a high, reject this premium flow gate, which we should, if this sell gate is indeed active. Once we take this low, we also have these engineered lows that happen in the liquidity area, which is the range low and the range high. These are the areas where highs and lows are, or like Hoppy likes to say, liquidity is literally engineered, and that's exactly what these lows are here, and these highs as well. So don't be shocked if today and tomorrow just continue to go higher. If they do, align yourself with the current programs and yeah, align yourself with the current programs. Only take trades where majority of the programs are aligned. Eventually, the assets will be back into sync. Either ES, Dow Jones, or NQ will tell you which one of them were lying, and you'll be able to know just by looking at the correlated pairs. Now, one thing I want to point out for next specific month, the very first month of the, or the very first day, excuse me, of the July partition is, let me move this here, July 2nd. That is the first day of the next monthly partition. And then the third day, which is the day that we expect our first clue to be present, will be July 7th on Tuesday. And that's one thing that I wanted to point out here was that on Thursday, which is supposed to be the first day of the monthly partition for July, is a day that we have NFP. And I don't believe that is random and something for you guys to just pay attention to. So yeah, we are still in a sell program. We aren't in sync with ES at the current moment. So if I had to choose which side, at the current moment, it would be sales. On a broader time frame, something with a bigger picture, I would say buys. So just by hearing me say that, there is no certain anything at the current moment. So when you guys are taking trades, go ahead and take your base hits, take your profits, and get out of there. And just to give you guys one more closer look, this is the 81-minute time frame on the 729. If they want to form a high, we have these highs inside of here, inside of the liquidity zone, which is the green layer, that if we do take these highs, swipe, and then create a type 1 CSD, which is where we touch the 100% of the range, and then close back below the 89%, which for this specific dealing range is 29,808. If we can get a body closure below that after reaching 100% of the range, then I would expect a high to be in for the day, and then further continuation in to this premium flow gate, and eventually an equilibrium of the range. And that would be my idea for today if they want to form a high in the specific range. If not, I'm just going to be sitting back and waiting to see whether they want to close above this and then treat this as a discount or create a high for the week here to then continue lower. Good luck and good trading, everyone.